Dear viewers, today we are going to start a topic which is related to 10th standard social studies, that is 13th chapter. 13th chapter, the world between wars, 1900 to 1950. This is part 1. Part 2 is the 14th chapter. So today we will focus on 13th chapter. The entire chapter has been subdivided into 5 topics. 5 topics. Number 1, it is about the famous historian Eric Hobsbawm. He said the early 20th century as the age of extremes. So the second topic we are going to learn is about world wars. In world wars, I have again subdivided into death and destruction and power blocks. Whereas the third topic we are going to discuss about the causes for the 2 world wars. Causes for the 2 world wars. First one will be immediate cause. Both we will discuss, World War I as well as World War II. The next important cause is aggressive nationalism. Third one, imperialism. And the fourth one will be the secret alliances. So, these 4 important subtopics we are going to discuss in this category. Now coming to the 4th category, special context of the World War. Both wars. So, in that we are going to discuss about the Treaty of Versailles, the League of Nations, as well as German challenge, and the last one, fear of socialism. The 5th topic will be the consequences of the 2 world wars. In that we are going to discuss about enormous human cost. Second one, democratic principles. Third one, change in balance of power. Fourth one, new international organizations established during that time. And the last and the final topic will be enfranchisement of women. Is Eric Hobsbawm, the famous historian. Before learning about him, just will have a little bit introductory part. During the beginning of the 20th century, the world had a population of 1.6 billion. What is the population of the world right now? It's more than 7.5 billion. More than that. So, during that time, how was the world? Especially in the Western countries. The Western countries. Western countries have progressed with industrial revolution. This is mainly developed in Britain. Industrial revolution, which flourished in Britain, slowly it spread all over Europe. And these European nations, they have seen the industrial growth. The rest of the world were suffering with acute backwardness. The other part of the world with industrial growth. A British historian called the 20th century as the age of extremes. Extreme means very high, at a greater height. Clear. So, what are the things that took place during this first half of the 20th century? We are going to learn. The first one is democratic aspiration rose among the people. Why democratic aspiration rose among the people during that time was the world has seen 2 dictatorships. One is fascist under the leadership of Mussolini, and the another one was Nazism under the leadership of whom? Adolf Hitler. Literacy level increased during that time. As the first half of the 20th century, The Western nations have seen lot of educational institutions established, and the literacy level has increased. That had changed the mindset of the people during that period. And the fourth one, average life expectancy grew. The life expectancy in Europe has increased greatly because of development of science, medicine, and also the infrastructure facilities. Okay. Fifth one, new forms of art like movies emerged during this period. Earlier, there were no movies, but especially during the 20th century, new forms of art like movies came into existence. How much the movies are dominating today in the present world, you know. Movies play a significant role in the society. Scientific knowledge had been developed during that period. They have learned about the atom, about the human life, about the human existence. So, lot of innovative things have been brought into limelight during the early 20th century. Seventh point, we are going to learn about women got the right to vote. Women got the right to vote. 50% of the world population are women. And they got their right to vote in the early 20th century. And the next important point, more than 100 nations walked to independence. India was among one of them. More than 100 nations, it's not 100 nations, it's more than 100 nations, they walked into independence. The last and final is the ninth one, great experimentations. What are the great experimentations? One is socialism, the another one is capitalism. In any country, the production is made by the public sector. We call that as what? Socialism. In the same way, when it comes to capitalism, the goods and services in a country are produced by the private individuals. We call that as what? Capitalism. So, the world has seen two different models here. One is socialism and capitalism. 10th point, that is the Great Depression. This Great Depression mainly started 1929 to 39. The world has seen what? A down growth. All the industries have been closed. Banks turned as bankruptcy. So, the entire world has seen a great depression. There is no progress, no development. The world, two world wars. Two world wars, you know, 1914 to 1918. World War One. World War One. World War Two. 1939 to 1945. The second important topic in the 13th chapter is world wars, obvious facts. During that period, the world was divided into two. One, the industrially developed countries, Britain, USA, Germany, France, Italy and Japan. The other side, we have African and Asian countries. These African and Asian countries were just struggling for independence. Third important point, these industrially developed countries or European countries, they were just wants to dominate and colonize, and they want to take the control of these African Asian countries. Fourth important point, during that period, we have rival blocks. Among the European nations only, we have two different blocks. One block headed by Germany, Austria and Hungary. The other side was Britain, France and Russia. The World War One began in the year 1914 and ended in the year 1918. And Germany was defeated in that. And who won the war means Britain and France. I'm not taking the name of Russia. Russia has withdrawn from the war. Seventh important point is World War II began in the year 1939 and ended in the year 1945. The two world wars are quite different compared with all the wars the world has seen. The casualties, both the military as well as the civilians, was unprecedented. World War I claimed 10 million men. Among them, 75,000 Indian soldiers were there. On behalf of Britain, they were waging war with Africa and Europe. Compared to First World War, the Second World War was even more terrible. 22 to 25 million military casualties and 40 to 50 million civilians were killed. Among them, 6 million Jews were also killed. And the ending of the Second World War with the incident of US attacked Japan. Two important cities, one is Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The casualties were 1,50,000 to 2,46,000. An important fact about the world wars is power blocks. What are these power blocks? My dear students, we have learned in 9th standard about the nation states. So, unification of Germany took place and also Italy. Later, they formed into groups, and finally these groups led to power blocks. Power blocks. In the First World War, one block, the center, and then another block is entity or allies. In the same manner, Second World War also, we have two power blocks. One is Axis power led by Germany. And the next one, Allies led by Britain, USA and USSR. In both World War I and World War II, Germany got defeated. Germany got defeated.